it sounds so simple. Choose bliss. That's something we all want. But why is it harder to do that than just doing it?
You know, the thing is that we can't control what happens in the world around us. And so much of our happiness, we rely on what's going on out there. The secret to bliss is to remember that even though you can't control what's happening to you or in the world, you can always control how you choose to react in any given situation. And that's why I called the book Choose Bliss, because we get to choose.
Yeah, I mean, it goes back to the old saying, you can't change the cards that you're dealt, but you can change how you play them, right?
That's exactly right.
A new book is sharing the power to choose and how it can transform your life. So we have the author of Choose Bliss with us this morning, Moneeka Sawyer. Nice to have you with us.
Thank you. So nice to be here.
I love the message of Choose Bliss because sometimes it is about choices, right?
It really is, yeah.
How did you get started with this book?
You know, I was a life coach for many years, for 11 years for executives in the Silicon Valley. And one of the things that I found is that the biggest problem with their business was that they weren't happy. And so I helped people to find out how to find that internal happiness so that they could grow in every area of their life.
We all want to live the best possible life, right? Well, here to tell us how to make it all happen is Moneeka Sawyer, author of Choose Bliss, The Power and Practice of Joy and Contentment. And welcome, Moneeka, to Bay Sunday. First of all, I want to just kickstart this right now, asking you, are you just such a happy person? You just wanted to share all this blissfulness with the whole wide world?
Absolutely. Yes.
Yes.
But, you know, I haven't always been this way. So it's been, what I have learned is that to be this way takes practice and strategies. And, you know, I've come from a place that wasn't so awesome and so happy. And
yeah, it's called Barstow, but that's okay. No, that's where I'm from. I'm sorry. All right.
We all come from different places, but this is a choice, which is why the book is called Choose Bliss, because we can choose to live this way.
You just hit on something right away to me that just resonated. You said we have to practice at being bliss.
Yeah.
And I hadn't thought of it that way, but if we practice to run a marathon, if we practice and we train to participate in a triathlon, then we do have to practice on being happy.
We do. It's just like you say, we build our happiness muscles, and you're not going to build those if you don't practice. And as you practice, it gets easier and easier and easier. Your first marathon is going to be a lot harder than your 10th marathon, right? And that's the same with maintaining your emotional stability, maintaining your bliss, and creating a life of your choosing. All of that, as you do it more and more and more, it gets easier. It becomes more of your default rather than something you have to focus on all the time.
So, okay, give me some tips on how to be a happier, a healthier, a more blissful individual.
Okay. I love giving tips, so thank you. So my very first tip is that, and this I believe is a master skill of bliss, is to practice gratitude daily. Now, we've heard this from a lot of people. We've heard it from Oprah. We've heard it from Deepak Chopra. We've heard it from very big names that doing some sort of gratitude practice is very important. The thing that people don't normally get is that doing the practice is awesome, but the thing that's going to really impact your life is to drop into those feelings of gratitude. So whatever practice you're doing, make sure that you really evoke the emotions, because it's those emotions that are going to take your life from mundane to magical.
For anybody that doesn't even know what bliss would mean, define it for us. Is it a feeling? Is it a word?
It's kind of all of those things, right? So bliss is that really deep sense of joy and contentment and like absolute confidence that you can handle anything that comes your way.
Okay, why is it so hard to get that? Because I'm around a bunch of people, hey Martinez, pay attention to this, that may have to struggle to find that contentment and just be happy. I like coming here on Mondays, I say it's the best day of the week.
Oh, it's so good, and I can tell that. It's, you know, it's actually, it's a practice. It's emotional mastery, you know, and it's not, let's say you have to work at it and then eventually it becomes a habit.
But when you say work at it, especially in a day and age where we just have so much stress and so many things that are taking away from that, how do you get your mindset into that to be blissfully wealthy?
So blissful wealth. So here's the thing. people like to have bliss in all areas of your life, like you were mentioning, right? So blissful wealth is really about creating that feeling of safety so that you can focus more on being happy.